Hi everybody, welcome to this edition of Recruiter Takeover. I'm Amy Herzenberg. I'm the social media strategist. He's going to make me laugh this whole time. I'm the social media strategist with True Staff, and I'm here with Kevin Simonson. He's been taking over our social accounts all week long and answering questions, sharing information about himself, about his kids, his family, and all of his work here at True Staff. So while people join us, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Okay. Hi guys, I'm Kevin Simonson here. I'm a healthcare recruiter with True Staff. Been here for about a couple years, about 3 years. Worked with another recruiter, Chris. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you, if I remember correctly, you got a job here through another recruiter. Someone introduced you to True Staff?
Yes. So Cincinnati. I was born and raised here. And then after I went to Princeton High School, big public school in Princeton, in Cincinnati. After that, I went to the military, Air Force firefighter for 4 years. Got out, and I found this job called the Glendale Lyceum, where I was like a event manager, and I ran into this guy. He said, "Hey, his old buddy found a new job, something about healthcare recruiting." So I called him up. His name was Jace. He's a team leader. And spoke with Jace and told me about the job, and the more and more he spoke about it, the more and more I liked it. And
awesome.
2 weeks later, I was here.
That's awesome.
So
very quick.
Yeah, very quick.
So you've been here for how long now?
About 3 years, close to 3 years.
So you like it so far?
I am.
Yeah.
I am.
What's your favorite part about working here?
Favorite part? Culture. I mean, the culture here at True Staff is pretty nice. It's a family-owned. You know, it's a family-owned company. And you feel that, on the inside. A lot of great people are here at True Staff, so a lot of people, just the culture is very friendly, family atmosphere.
I love coming up on the recruiting floor because I love to see how all the recruiters are friends with one another. They go and hang out. They go out to lunch together. They're together on the weekends. There's some that live like next door to each other and they play cornhole together on the weekends. Yeah. That's awesome.
It is.
It's really cool to see that super collaborative and close environment up here. I'm kind of jealous. I want to move my desk up here a little bit. So
it's crazy.
I just want to hear the bell ring.
It is.
Like I want to do that when something successful happens for me. Just randomly ring the bell.
That's right.
Ding ding ding. Got a like on Facebook. Ding ding ding.
We do that for you guys, for the new travelers.
Yeah.
Every new traveler, the whole place goes nuts for them. So
yeah, it's really cool to experience.
It is.
And you can hear it sometimes downstairs. The recruiters are going nuts.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's happening?
I tell travelers about it, and they're like, "Kevin, put me on speaker." And I said, "All right, I'm putting your name up, put them on speaker."
Oh, that's so cool.
And ring that bell for them, and they get to hear all the cheers.
Fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
People get really excited about it.
They do. They really do.
It's a lot of fun.
It is.
Okay, so we put together a couple questions for you that these are common questions we get from our travelers, whether they're looking at becoming a traveling nurse or they've been doing it a while and they want to know more about True Staff and how our process works. So Emily Carey took over last month, and she made a really good point. She's awesome.
Yes.
She made a really good point that this whole business is a business of relationships, where you and the nurse have this task of building a trustworthy relationship where they're trusting you with their job, their paychecks, and you have to develop that trust with them.
Right.
So both of you are really good at developing those long-term relationships with your nurses.
Right.
So how do you do that?
So yeah, it's hard. You call someone up and say, "Hey, where are you at? Missouri? Let's go to Maine." So the first question I ask them, "Who's your first kiss?"
I know you don't. That's weird.
No, I don't. But
very personal.
Yeah, they tell you the first kiss, they're going to open up. But no, it's with these travelers out there, it's important for them to feel confident with the recruiter. So a lot of times when you deal with travelers, for them to have a successful career in traveling, I want to know everything about them. So I'm going to ask as much, many questions as I can, so I can better understand. Each traveler is unique and where they're at and who they're bringing. Some of them bring their pets with them. I have travelers that have horses, and it's like, hey, I have horse shows, and so it's like, the more what's going on with that individual traveler, the better their traveling career is going to be. Right. So as recruiters, you just want to know them as much as you can. Right. You want to find out, where they're at in their life, their family, their friends, their pets,
Right.
all of that. So
It's good stuff to know, so you can kind of figure out, okay, I know I've had experience with this facility with a different traveler, and my other traveler may not be a good fit for that one.
exactly,
Like,
it's very
you know
good.
their personality, so
Right,
you can
right.
figure out what jobs or what facilities best fit.
Exactly.
That's kind of a
Yeah,
neat,
big facilities, small facilities,
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So
super helpful.
it
I'm
is.
sure.
It is very is.
So let's say a traveler has found a job that they want.
Okay.
And they're like, Kevin, submit me to this job. They're
Right.
ready to go. So
Right.
how does that process work?
So that submittal process, when a traveler calls in, we just want to tell them, like, all right, if you like this job, let's get you submitted right away. That window of that job opening is a lot shorter than what people think. So we, as recruiters, we want to get their submittal as fast as possible. There is a little bit of information that we always want to get from the traveler. That's the kind of start date they want,
Okay.
time off during a contract, and the shift. We want to provide as much as information so the hospital feels like they know what they want, so they're not going back and forth.
Right.
So we try to stress the importance of getting this little bit of information from the traveler so we can hurry up and submit them, because that window of opportunity, it's definitely speed to market, with your
Yeah,
submittal.
definitely.
The quicker we get your submittal out to a facility, the quicker we can get that offer. Because if a job's open and a traveler calls in and says, let me think about it, and he or she thinks for 3 or 4 days, hey, in that time frame,
Yep.
20 submittals could be coming in.
Yep.
And that just, makes it more challenging for that traveler. So
Yeah, and the reality is, a lot of these jobs, I mean, they need someone quick because they're
Yeah.
trying to fill a need.
Right.
If they need more staff on site pretty quickly, and all these other agencies are also submitting to that. So that poor nurse manager is probably
Right,
getting
right.
150 profiles.
It is.
So the faster you get in, the better.
So the faster if we can get, if there's 100 stack of submittals,
Yeah.
and we're in the top 5 of
Yes.
submittals, hey, we have a better shot for
Yeah,
that.
this
for
perfect
that.
nurse don't even
So,
need
yeah.
to look at the rest.
That's
I know.
right. Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
very speed to market in the submittal process.
Very true.
Yeah.
So once they've been submitted, they got an interview, and now the facility has extended an offer.
Yes.
What happens after that offer is extended?
So we got the offer. Usually everyone's excited. It's like, awesome, congrats. But there is an important step. That's the compliance aspect.
Oh goodness.
Good old compliance. So, and we know we're sending these travelers to a different facility. Facility has no idea who they are. So we got to do background checks. We got to get medical. The facility has to feel confident that they're going to get a good traveler. So they provide this, each facility will provide us their list of compliance,
Okay.
which is very important to knock out in a certain time period before that traveler starts. It's usually about a week before that traveler starts.
Right.
And behind the scenes, we have our compliance specialists. Our account managers are involved as well. The hospital will notify our compliance specialist for TrueStaff and say, this is what we want for our travelers.
Right.
And that's very important. Because if a traveler does not get that completed, facility will push the traveler back, which will cause a dilemma at some point, maybe with time off for the
Right.
traveler. Maybe they want to end at a certain date, and now they have to end 2 weeks later than they want. So it's always important to knock out the compliance aspect
Right.
for each job.
So you shared yesterday in your tip for your travelers
Yeah,
that
yeah.
there's an order that you recommend for your travelers. So
Absolutely.
medical first, I believe is what you shared?
Right. Medical first. So I kind of break it down to all my travelers as the compliance part. You're going to get basically medical, some forms, and testing. Medical's going to take the longest, They got to go get a drug screen, which we always pay for our travelers. But for drug screens, we have to wait to get the sample back. So,
Yeah.
there's going to be TB, the shot records. Maybe they have to do update shots. So usually that time frame is a lot longer. So if a traveler works on the medical last, hey, we might not get those results back, which
Right.
will not make that deadline. So it's very important to knock out what I tell travelers, medical, then do those forms where they can electronically sign on the laptop computers, and then focus on the test.
Very, very smart. I guess like the medical part takes the most amount of time.
Right.
So getting that knocked out.
So send your shot records, get your
Yeah.
drug screens, get your
You've
drug screens.
done this a million times, so
Right,
you probably
right.
know how to be really efficient with
Right.
it and everything.
And
so
our compliance people are really good as well too.
yeah, super helpful team.
Right. They really are.
Yeah. So the very last question we have for you, and we ask
Okay.
this for everyone that takes over our accounts. What is your favorite story you've heard from a traveler so far? Rule is no names. So
No names.
No names.
No names. Favorite story from a traveler.
You've probably heard quite a few of them. What's your favorite one so far?
Probably from this traveler. She's worked a couple contracts for me. She kept on telling me in between contracts, she keeps on paying extra money for her house.
Right.
A lot of times, she's an actual traveler. She doesn't just travel in her home state. She'll go out, so she has to pay on her home, and she just feels like she's very confident that she wants to, just kind of move back to the parents so she can give up her house.
Oh, wow.
And just focus 100% on traveling so she can save more money.
Yeah.
And she goes, Kevin, am I crazy for doing this? I said no, but I'll take care of you as best I can. And she goes, well, I believe you will. She goes, I just want to let you know I'm going to do it. So I said, all right. And
Wow.
it's been she's did that. She sold the house, and she's been traveling. And she just does contract after contract, but in between, she goes on cruises, and so she's just
So jealous.
she's making a good financial thing. She's got a good financial thing going on for her. So
I get so jealous when I'm on Facebook and I'm in those travel nurse groups and I get to see like someone taking pictures at the Grand Canyon. I'm like,
the Grand Canyon.
Take me with you.
Yeah.
At one point, I need to experience these places that people are talking about.
It is.
Just for the sake of my career.
Right.
I feel like it's important.
and it's awesome when, like, sometimes while they're on assignment, they don't need to take a vacation because they work, usually
they're
3
on
days.
vacation.
And so they have 4 days they can
Yeah.
they can go somewhere they want to go, and they'll have 4 days a week we're off where they can go check out. But it's very cool when you hear travelers like, hey, I just bought a new house.
Yeah.
Or I just got a brand new car. It's definitely, financially. And then the travel aspect, they'll make enough money where, after assignment is done, we'll be in contact. They're like, hey, Kevin, I'm going to, Europe for, about 3 or 4 weeks, or I'm going back to, New Zealand. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah,
it's like,
put me in your suitcase.
It is.
Take me with you.
It is. So
I'll just live in the basement wherever you're at for a couple days. It's totally fine.
It is.
I get so jealous, and I love to hear the stories that they share on social media. We see a lot of those where like, you guys, I'm so excited that I finally paid off all my student loans. After
that's a big one.
Yeah.
That's a big one, student loans.
I love hearing all those. I wish I had the same.
Right,
Like, I want to pay off my student loans
that's right.
so bad.
Yeah.
I love hearing all of those, and they get to share these like really inspiring stories with their fellow travelers. And
Absolutely.
It's so encouraging to see like all the comments of people like, congratulations.
Yeah.
It's such a tight-knit group of people.
It
There's so
is.
many of them, but they are so close.
They're
and
very close.
They help one another,
Right,
and
right.
it's so cool to see that every day, which is a lot of what I do is on
Right.
social media. I get to see all those stories and participate where I can, and it's really, really cool. So
It is. It's definitely very neat to hear all these traveler stories.
yeah, it's been really cool. So
Yeah.
Kevin has a couple more days of his takeover left, so make sure you tune in for tomorrow and Saturday. He's got a couple more things he's going to share, but as always, if you have more questions that we didn't get to today, you can always drop them in the comments. Kevin's going to be responding and answering those questions from the True Staff account, so he can get to all of those. If you want to get to know him a little better, or you have questions about how to get started in traveling, you can always send him an email or shoot him a text or anything. We'll put all that stuff out there in the comments of this as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So always feel free to reach out and tune in for the rest of the days of the week, so you can get to know Kevin a little better. So
All right.
that's all we got for you.
Awesome.
Thanks for tuning in,
Live.
guys. We'll see you.